Flosstube, it's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. I'm back for an update video. Today is Thursday, June 23rd. So it's been a little bit more than a month since my last video, but I have had a lot of things going on. And I don't know, I get kind of nervous about making my videos. I keep telling my husband, I'm like, I need to make a video. And he's like, well, do a video. And I'm like, well, and I keep putting it off. So I got a message on Instagram last night, and I'm like, okay, I've got everything ready. I'm going to do this video. So, but anyway, it's been a while and I've done a lot since my last video. I mentioned in my last video that I was going on a trip. So May 18th or 19th, my older son Patrick flew over to Denver, and he spent a couple of days with us visiting and just going and doing a lot of fun stuff. The last day he was here, the Saturday that we left to go to Mississippi, he and his dad went to kind of a comic book convention type thing, and he had the best time. He bought old movies, which he loves. He got to meet the actor who played Flash Gordon, some other things I didn't understand, but he thought that was the best thing in the world. And the other thing he loved while he was here, we went to Second and Charles, which is kind of a used bookstore kind of type thing. I'm not exactly sure, but they have old books and then they have new books, and they have movies, and he had the best time. Loved doing that. So that was some of the things that we did while he was here. We took him up to one of our favorite places to hike, and he just like took off and was gone. And an hour later I was using my binoculars looking, and I found him like across the prairie. I'm like, okay, so he enjoyed that too. And then that Saturday, he and I loaded up with Sally and we drove to Mississippi. We actually took 2 days. We spent the first night in Dallas, and then we were outside of Dallas. Anyway, north of Dallas. And then the second day we just drove straight through. We were going to stop in Shreveport, but when we realized that at 5 p.m. we would be in Shreveport and it was another 3 hours to Mississippi, we're like, we'll just drive straight through. So we did that, and I spent time with my younger sister Bridget, who I've talked about on this video. She's Sally's favorite aunt, so I'll put a picture here of her and her aunt the first night we got there. She just loves her Aunt Bridget. And then I went to see my mom, went to lunch with my younger son, Nicholas, and that on Tuesday. And then I left on Wednesday to go to a conference in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So we spent a couple of days there, got to meet up with my co-author, Cinnamon. So I'm working on textbooks for McGraw-Hill. I actually have 2 different textbooks, Anatomy and Physiology, and Cinnamon is my co-author. We have another co-author, Andy, but he wasn't at the conference this time. And learned a lot, got to see a lot of people, had a great time at the conference. It was a good conference considering how small it was. And then Cinnamon and I needed an author retreat. We need to bond as authors. So we always use that as an excuse, and we went to the Keys. So we spent a couple of days down at Marathon. I'll put some pictures in here. We had the best time. I just love Cinnamon. We get along great. That's a great relationship. And then we drove back into Miami and flew home on Memorial Day. And so I spent a couple of more days in Mississippi, went and visited my mom again, and then went out to eat with my sons and Brittany, who is Nicholas's girlfriend. She's family. I'll put a picture here of them, my babies. And then I got up that Wednesday, loaded up, Sally and I loaded up, and we headed back to Denver, back home to Littleton. And really it was, I told Hobby, I said, I knew we made the right decision to move when I was ready to go home, and that meant going back to Colorado. Great drive. I enjoyed myself driving over to Colorado, spent the night in Tulsa. I drove up to Madison, Mississippi. That's where my brother lives, and spent the night there, visited with him and his wife and kids, and then got up early that morning and loaded up and left. And so we drove to Tulsa. Horrible hotel in Tulsa. and then drove from Tulsa on home the next day. So I was gone for, I think it was 13 days total. Had a good time, but it was nice to be home. Took me about 3 days to recover. And, you know, we've just been busy. We have gone to a concert. We went to a concert at Red Rocks. We went to see Violent Femmes, who was the opening act, but the whole reason we wanted to be there, because the other performers were Big Head Todd and the Monsters. We stayed for 3 of their songs and then took off. Went to see a movie at Red Rocks, which is a great fun time. We went to see Thor Ragnarok, which is one of my favorite Marvel movies. So did a lot of fun stuff. We've just, you know, we're enjoying ourselves. And then I had some fun experiences trying to get a driver's license. Got there with the documents they told me to bring, told me I needed another document, my marriage license, went back and got my marriage license, went there then a couple of days later, and they're like, oh, this marriage license isn't valid. It was never filed. Realized that I may not have been married to my husband for 32 years and have 2 illegitimate children. Went home, ordered our marriage license. It came in. My kids are good. I was picking with them. I'm like, y'all are legitimate, just so you know. And they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, don't worry about it. So I have an appointment next Wednesday to get my driver's license. So I was telling Hobby, I kept asking him, you want to get married? You want to get married? We can get married in Colorado. But we're married already. So just, you know, crazy things. Went to see my new office, met with some of my colleagues, loved my new office, I'm excited about my new teaching gig. Found out what classes I'll be teaching. Great schedule for the fall, just 2 classes, both of them in the morning. So loving it. And then some lots of things I'm changing, updating in my shop, which I'll talk about that at the end of the video. So we'll get into the point of being here, which is what have I been stitching and crafting on. All right, so I don't know what I've shown you and what I have not shown you in my crafting. So I'm just going to show you what I have finished lately and what I'm currently working on. And I have to be honest, I kind of lost my stitching bug, I guess, in June. I just couldn't find anything I really wanted to stitch on, and it was difficult. I was working on the, what is it? It's the Red, White, and Bloom set from, is that right? From Brenda Gervais, the little pillow set, and the white wasn't showing up on the fabric, and that just totally ruined it for me. And I have not picked that up yet since then. But I have some finishes, so I'll share those with you. First of all, in my last video, I talked about working on Let Freedom Ring from Abby Rose Design. And this is pretty much, I've worked on this almost exclusively, and I actually finished it. So it turned out so cute. That was a big blue house. Somebody said in my last video that somebody commented that that's a big house. And it was, but I enjoyed stitching it. And I'm going to finish this. I think I have like one of the, what are they called? The little butter boards or whatever. I think I have one big enough for this. If not, I'm going to put it on the top of a box. So that is really cute. I do not know what fabric this is, but I think it's like 36 count. But I don't know which fabric. Sorry about that. And I use the called for threads mostly. If I didn't have it, I just substitute the DMC. So isn't that pretty? So that's Abby Rose. I couldn't find this to put it in my shop, but I found a couple of other of hers that are similar, but this one's really cute. I really like that one. Now the other thing that I've been working on is the Fall on the Farm series. So Little House Needleworks does a lot of these series, and the one that's currently ongoing is Fall on the Farm, and it's a 9-piece series that will finish as a box. You may have seen Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, has come up with a border that she's using on hers, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do that on mine, but I was determined to catch up. So I had stitched on this in March, I think is the last time I picked it up, and I was not up to date. I had done the first and second one, and we're on the 6th one already. So I've been working on that almost exclusively, alternating between this one and another monthly series. So this is the first 6 blocks of the Fall on the Farm. So I just love the colors. I love that middle block. It is absolutely beautiful. So it's going to be 9. I'll have plenty of room, and I still have room to add Vanna's border if I decide to do that. It is really cute. So each one of these comes as a separate chart. So you get one chart per month. And the other series, oh, there's a big blue. Let me show you that again without the blue thread on it. So it's so cute. I love those colors. And the other series is a freebie series from Jeanette Douglas. It's Tiny Bouquets, and she releases a little bouquet each month. So these are the first 6, and I'll link her page below, so if you're interested in this, you can go and get the current patterns. They're all freebies, and the border pattern's free and everything. So this takes about, I would work 2 days on the Little House series and finish a block, and then I would work a day, 2 days on one of these. These do not take very long at all. And the way she has this, she has one version that you can do as a pillow, or another version that you can do as part of this. So there's some, like the pillow, she'll have initials or some saying associated with it. So it's really versatile. Okay. And so that's what I've been working on and feel like I've caught up with. And I'll show you my one current whip that I'm working on. Okay, so my current whip, I have one whip that I'm working on, and I think I'm going to work on this one and a new start. I'll show you in just a minute, exclusively, and I'll talk about that in just a second. So I'm working on this. It's called Out on a Limb. I received this as a kit in her Scattered Seed Sampler Club 2 years ago, I think, but it's now available. So this chart is available to the wider public, and it came on, I got this Vintage Country Mocha. I think this is 36 count. Yeah. And that's my progress. And I have been working on this like the last 15 minutes of the day before I go to bed, trying to do the 25/7, but I usually get 15/3, but I think this is one that I'm going to work on and try to get this done. But I do have one planned start. I'll show you in just a minute. The other whip that I'm working on is a quilting whip. So I know some of you aren't here for quilting, but I will do this really quickly. I have been working on the Farm Girl Vintage 2 quilt, and I have 2 blocks left to do. I have to do this block here and this tiny block here. So hopefully I'll have those done today or tomorrow, and then I just put the strips around it, put it together. I'm hoping I can have this all done in the next week, but I'm going to put a picture in here of the blocks that are finished. I have them all laid out on my bed right now, so I'm so excited. They're so cute. All right, and then now I forgot there's one other finish that I have, and this is an FFO. I love wool applique. Absolutely love wool applique. I actually picked up 3 quilts. Is that right? Yeah, 3 quilts. I haven't shown you those. I'll show you those. 3 quilts when I was in Mississippi, and 2 of them have wool applique. So I just have to put the bindings on these. The first one, I've shown this in a video before, is this. Isn't that adorable? This was from Little Red Hen. It's on their Woolly Mystery Quilt Facebook group they did a while back. And so it's all finished. I just need to put the binding on and then mail it back to my sister Sharon. And now I have to make one for Bridget. Bridget wants one too. Oh, there's the binding. Let's see. And then their first Woolly Mystery that I did was a cat quilt. And so here is the cat quilt completed. Let me move my chair. So that is the cat quilt. And you can get these kits through Little Red Hen. And I will, I'll post their website as well. Isn't that adorable? So that is my second quilt I picked up while I was in Mississippi. And then the third one was a mystery quilt that was in the Primitive Quilts and Projects magazine a few years ago. And I know I've shown my progress on this. This one block, which one was it? I think it was this block, hung behind me for years on my wall in Mississippi. But that is the quilt. And it has applique and just piecing, which I love that kind of sampler quilt. So I love to do these wool applique. That whole thing was just to show you, to prove to you that I love wool applique. But there is a new, to me, for the past year, I guess, wool applique designer. It's Jerome Thomas Designs, and you can pick up his patterns and kits through the Woolen Needle in Iowa, and I absolutely love his stuff. So the first weekend I was back from Mississippi, I did one of his kits. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to spend the whole day doing this. So I did it's called Meow, I don't remember. Anyway, it's the cat. And I picked up the kit, which included this little bell, from the Woolen Needle, and just followed his instructions specifically. I mean, I did exactly what he said and really enjoyed doing this. So that was another FFO. And I have a little cabinet here that holds my Valdani. I just hang that right there. So cute. And I posted that on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that. Now let's talk about what my plans are. Since I don't have very many whips that I want to do, I do have starts that I want to do, which is not uncommon for me. Okay, so I have 3 planned starts. My hair keeps changing because I keep taking my glasses off and rearranging them. So sorry, I don't look the same every clip. Anyway, I have 3 planned starts for July. I have a cross stitch start, a quilting start, and a wool applique start. So my quilting start is in, because we're doing Jolly July, a lot of people do Christmas in July, I'm going to stitch this Abbey Rose design, which is not a new one, but if you've watched much Flosstube, you've seen this one. It is very cute. Primitive Merry Christmas pillow. I'm going to find a fabric that is close to that as possible. Maybe not that dark, though. I have some old R&R that I may try to use, but that's my first plan. I'm going to start that July 1st, which is next Friday, right? And then I'm going to do another one of the Jerome Thomas wool applique. So I'm going to do this one. And I got this fully kitted when I was at the Woolen Needle the last time, which was in May when I went to the retreat, Farm Girl Dry Goods retreat, Farm Girl Gatherings retreat, which I'm not going to the one in the fall. I usually go to the fall retreat, but I'm not going, which it's not a bad thing, because the reason I'm not going is because I'm going to go hang out with some friends who I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm super excited about that. So I'll miss going to Amana, and I'll miss seeing all my friends there, but I'm so excited about the trip in October. My other planned start, because I am going to finish that Farm Girl Vintage quilt like in the next 3 days. That's my plan. I'm going to work on another quilt, and this is a little bitty quilt. Santa's Checklist. I bought this as a kit when I went to the, I guess it was the 2019, was it 2019? 2018. It may be the 2019 International Quilt Festival in Houston. So I've got everything. I just need to, and it shouldn't take me very long to do that, but that's going to be my next quilt project. And then I have 2 other quilt projects that I'm going to work on in July, which are secrets. I can't talk about them. So those are my plans for July. All right, I just want to spend a few minutes talking about shop updates. So I was on Etsy for years and have moved my shop off of Etsy onto an independent website, just jenstitchingniche.com. The link's below. And I just want to talk about a couple of things that I'm doing differently or new things that I'm doing in the shop. I am going to start, first of all, I have everything kind of tabbed. You can see the tabs along the side or along the top, depending on how you're looking. There's also at the top, there's a search button that will allow you to search the whole website. But I'm adding a new tab, or I've added a new tab for anything that is kitted. You can go there and it will, all the things that I have kitted will be available there. And I'm going through and kitting things that either, if I have all the materials, I'll kit it, but also some of those I'm kitting in DMC, because some people have been asking about DMC conversion. So if you're interested in anything that I have and you want a DMC conversion, just let me know. Just email me. I'll have my email below, or you can contact me through my website. But I'm kitting things up. So the new Brenda Gervais and the new Paulette Stewart or Plum Street, when those materials come in, I will have kits available for those as well. I don't do pre-orders. I know a lot of shops do the pre-orders, and I probably should to be more competitive, but I just don't want to promise something I can't deliver. Not that the other shops aren't doing that. They have the materials. I'm not saying that, but I just am a worrier, and I'm afraid that I will make a mistake. So I want to make sure I have the materials before I promise that to somebody. But one thing, and if you've looked at my shop, you've known this, that I have what's just for fun section, because I'm obsessed with these little mice. And so I have all the little fall mice and Christmas mice available, and I try to keep those well stocked. But there's some new ones that I've added. I've added some ducks and some rabbits too, these little critters. But this is the newest one that I just got in. And I only have a very few of these. It's the Uncle Sam mouse. I have some more on order, but they're just hard to get. So I do have a few of these if you're interested in those. They're just cute for the tiered tray. The other thing that I've added, and this is because I'm obsessed with them. I don't know why I'm obsessed with them, but maybe it's because I just got a new vehicle. But I have these little inserts that you put in your cup holder in your car, and I have several of those. So if you're interested, that's just some non-stitchy stuff that's in the shop. What else did I want to talk about with my shop? I think that's everything. I mean, I've got, pretty much the same thing everybody's getting. We're starting to see fabric show up, so I have a little bit of R&R, lots of espresso, some Barb's blend, have a tiny bit of American chestnut. But, it seems like we're starting to see the fabric show up a little more. Other than that, just if you have questions, let me know. And I think that's it for the shop update. Not a very informative shop update, but just visit, let me know if you need anything. Okay, so now I want to talk about the giveaways from last week. So I mean, not last week, last video. So my last video, I had 6 different items to give away. The first was the remainder of the materials for the American Jubilee quilt that I'd shown, and that goes to Brenda Holzman. And anybody that wins, I'll just, my email will be down below or across the screen, and just email me and let me know your address and I'll get this mailed out. So Brenda Holzman, who mentioned, I talked about 2 quilts that I picked up when I went to Amana, and she has done both of them. She says they're fun, so I'm excited about that. Thank you, Brenda. The second item to be given away was the 3 Black-Eyed Susan chart by Brenda Gervais. That goes to Charlo52. Congratulations. The third was several charts from Jeanette Douglas. That goes to Claudia M. The fourth was a copy of The Rarest Flower by Blackbird Design. That goes to Donna McKinney. And then the summer salt box. That goes to Freedom Stitcher. And then the last was the Little Liberty, and that goes to Linda Walker. So if you can just email me, here's my email. Just email me your address, and I will get those mailed out to you. If I haven't responded to some other giveaways, I know somebody just sent me an email that they won one of my giveaways. I'll get everything caught up when I get these sent out as well. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to have 4 items or 4 things to give away. And again, if you are interested in my giveaways, please, you have to be 18. You don't say anything about a giveaway that I won, that I previously won, that I hope I win. Anything that indicates that I'm giving something away. Just make a normal comment and then just put the number of the item that you're interested in. And I'm going to do 4 different things. The first is the Let Freedom Ring chart by Abby Rose that I showed earlier. So if you're interested in that, just make sure you have a number 1, numerical 1, in your comment. The second is a set of charts from Lizzie Kate. There's the Snowy String, some of her sleigh ornaments, and then one of the charts from Country Cottage Needleworks, the Snow Village series. So that's 2. Number 3 is a set of the sleigh ornament charts. Make sure, yeah, these are all 3 different. I don't want to give you the same. Oh, 2 of the charts from Foxwood Crossing of their sleighs. Pomegranate sleds, I guess it's sleds, not sleighs, and Snowy Visitor, which is my favorite. I love those birds. So I'll actually have those 2. And then the final is a $50 gift card to my website. So if you're interested in the gift card, list number 4. So I will do those. Hopefully I'll get back in 2 to 3 weeks for my next video. Again, if you're interested, leave a normal comment and then just the number of the item that you're interested in. So I guess that is everything. I do have a newsletter that I send out once or twice a month. I try to do it twice a month. It gives updates with my shop. It has information about any sales that I'm running. A lot of times it's just me talking, just writing kind of what I've been doing. And I try to list a recipe in every one of them because I love recipes. I love cookbooks. So I'll leave the link below for that if you're interested in signing up for that newsletter as well. So I hope you have a great summer. We have a family member that actually moved over here. My husband's niece moved over here about 3 weeks ago. So she and her boyfriend are coming over for dinner tonight. Actually, it's very early because they're going to a concert at Red Rocks themselves. So they're coming over very early. And then I don't know if we have anything planned over the next couple of days. I don't think so. But I'll insert, like I said, I'll put some an insert a video from the Dolphin Rescue Center that Cinnamon and I went to when we were in the Keys. And hope to see you soon. Happy stitching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And have a good summer.